Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to today's edition of Intuitive Angling, and much appreciated you guys swinging by the channel to spend some time with me on the video today. We are going to be talking about what you can do to sort of reach that next level as an angler today. If you feel like you're sort of stuck at the level of success that you're having, there's one main reason that I see that people get stuck and they can't really evolve past that level of their evolution as an angler. So I'm going to give you guys some tips and advice on how to get past that so you can sort of take that next quantum leap to the next level of fishing success in today's video. Also, guys, a couple quick things before we get started. Just want to invite everybody out there to please hit that subscribe button here at Intuitive Angling. It's free and easy to do so. We've had some pretty good channel growth over the past month. Of course, we lose a bunch of members every month anytime I talk about live scope, which is okay. So I'd like to invite everybody to please hit that subscribe button. And if you want to go to the next level with Intuitive Angling, you can become a channel member. Channel members get private videos every week that are not seen by the public, and some access to my email address for your fishing questions. So just go to my YouTube homepage, hit the join button, gives you all the info for that. So really appreciate it. Okay, guys, I have a chance to fish with a lot of up-and-coming anglers and guys getting started with fishing, and guys sort of like, on their way up, through fishing as fishing with co-anglers and with all the on-the-water lessons that I do. And I've been able to observe sort of like that evolutionary process that an angler goes through, where they're learning about fishing to how they evolve as an angler and become better and better and better. But it's been my observation, especially in doing a lot of those on-the-water lessons that I do, that probably more than not, most anglers sort of get stuck a little bit in a rut, and they get to be at a certain level of success, and then they just sort of level off and don't ever get beyond that. And I sort of want to speak to that a little bit in today's video on what the number one thing is. Now, in today's world of bass fishing, guys, we have an information overload. It's like back when I started fishing, back in the late 70s and early 80s, there wasn't any access to fishing information. The only information we had was like a bi-monthly fishing magazine, like Bassmaster came out once every 2 months, and there'd be some articles in there written by outdoor writers that thought they knew more about fishing than what they did. But it cracks me up because, guys, back in the 70s and 80s, the outdoor writers thought that they were the best fishermen in the world, and they would write articles. They wouldn't really consult pros. They just write articles on their own, and they really didn't know what they were talking about. That's all we had. Today, you've got every bit of information at your fingertips. It's like you can spend more you can learn more in one afternoon of watching YouTube videos, and it took me decades to learn on my own. So it's the point of what I'm talking about here, the information that we have available at our fingertips is it's overwhelming a little bit, and there's no excuse not to absorb information. But here's what I'm talking about, why most people don't get beyond that. And it's sort of a product of the fact that people don't have a very long attention span, and they would rather be entertained than educated. Most people spend too much time focusing on lures and colors of lures and new techniques to catch fish. And there is some value to that, but the value to that is minuscule compared to what you need to really focus on, and that is bass movement and bass behavior and seasonal patterns. This is the number one reason why you're probably stuck at a certain level, and why most anglers get stuck at a certain level is they do not have the discipline. And I'm not saying you're a bad person for that, it's just sort of human nature, but they don't have the discipline to become a student of the bass, because it's boring. It's like when you talk about learning seasonal patterns and movements and personalities of bass, it's like going to school. It's a classroom format that you can't learn it quick. It's something that takes decades and decades to learn, and most people simply do not have that attention span. They want to know about the latest color of lure, or the latest new lure, or the latest little deal that you can do for instant success, and that is why they stay at that level. The only way that you can transcend that level and get to the next step in your evolutionary process as an angler is to become a student of the fish and understand how seasonal patterns affect fish movement and behavior. Now, given that this is for real bass fishing, if you're a live scoper and you've decided to go all in on that, that doesn't apply, because that isn't real fishing, and those fish that live out in open water do not follow seasonal patterns and movements of most of the fish in the lake that use a diversity of different water depths, or completely different, almost like a different species of bass in the lake. Not very satisfying whatsoever. There's a hollowness to fishing for those type of fish. But if you want to have an extremely rewarding experience in bass fishing that stimulates you on all different levels and will for your whole life, once you understand and see how the fish change and react and move and live in different parts of the lake and prefer different presentations and different lures every single month of the year, that is what makes fishing fun. Because the way that I really enjoy fishing, and most people, and how you really get good at it, is every single month of the year there is some type of conditional change: water temperature, daylight hours, shorter or longer, water levels, water tint, water clarity changes, and all of that has an impact on the mood and the personality of the fish. And it's a constant process that goes on 12 months out of the year, decade after decade after decade. And once you put this puzzle together and you're able to see how the environmental factors and everything that is within a bass's environment changes all the time, and how the bass react to those changes, that is how you get good. Because eventually what happens is, once you have an understanding of this, and you never fully understand it, but once you get a pretty good grasp of it, which takes you decades to do, somebody can feed you a set of information about the lake you're going to. Like, they can give you the water clarity, the water visibility, the water level, predominant cover, the type of species of bass in the lake. And once you understand the bass seasonal movements and patterns, you can go right to the fish. It's like where to go. It's like what part of the lake the fish are going to be in, the primary techniques that you're going to have to use in that situation. You're going to know how to approach those fish, and you're going to know how to make adjustments on the water if they're biting or not biting. That all comes from educating yourself to bass movement, personality, and seasonal patterns. And that's what allows you to use your own unique creativity and ingenuity, and not have to rely on somebody else to tell you where to go fishing. The satisfaction that comes from you learning about bass fishing, where you can find those fish yourself, and you don't have to have somebody point you in the right direction, or you don't have to have a fake electronic screen to show you where to cast at. You have the skills to go out, locate those fish on your own, fish to find the fish, and figure those fish out from a very pure level. That is the most satisfying part of bass fishing. Now, if you decide to get sucked in on the technology route of fishing, you're going to miss all of that. You're going to miss all of the nuanced, subtle rewards and the gratification that comes from the process of finding fish and looking for fish and figuring fish out. If you decide to go down that technology route, you've robbed yourself from that. So I highly encourage everybody to become students of bass movement behavior, seasonal patterns. It will take you to the next level in your fishing, and I can assure you it'll be a lot more rewarding for you. So anyway, hope that makes some sense and helps out. We'll talk later.